Well, some people will take gospel light reading like we have today and kind of run away with it, equating Jesus as some kind of a Nostradamus, looking for signs in current events and predicting the end of the world. But in fact, the reading really isn't about the end of the world. It's about the destruction of the temple in Jerusalem. And the things that Jesus predicted in his gospel occurred in the first century, 40 or so years after his death and resurrection. Nonetheless, we can never overstate the importance of this event to humankind, because the destruction of the temple led to a revolution in how humanity relates to God. Let's go back further in time to understand this. So every culture across space and time has believed in spirits, gods, or God. Even the earliest human cultures developed practices to reach the supernatural, essentially by looking for God in nature. Rocks, rivers, trees, and mountains were the center of these rituals. Then specifically designated places, such as certain mountains, became the places to encounter God. As cities developed and religions became more organized, both pagans and Jews alike chose higher places in cities to build temples. And thus the temple became the location for learning, praying, and conducting rituals in humanity's attempt to reach God. In Jerusalem, the temple was considered to be the dwelling place of the one true God. Now, there's a principle in nature. It's called secondary ecological succession. I first became aware of this as a first responder to a wildfire in California. So you see, there are certain trees and plants that can only reproduce when exposed to fire, the high temperatures of fire. It takes the destruction of other parts of the forest through fire to heat the hard shells and release the seeds of these trees and plants to grow the next generation. So many plants and trees thrive after fire sweeps through the landscape. The destruction of the Second Temple in Jerusalem by the Romans was like one of these wildfires. As horrifying and painful an event this was for the Jews, it nonetheless brought forth the reality of Jesus Christ. He is the new temple. Jesus is the dwelling place of God because he is God. In the ancient world, worshipers from within Jerusalem, from the countryside, and from the remote areas of the diaspora would visit the temple. That made them visitors. But Jesus commanded his disciples to go out and bring the gospel to others. Each of us, as temples of the Holy Spirit, have this ability to take Christ to others. After the temple was no more, the Christians had only the synagogues to teach in, but were soon banned from the synagogues. So Christians created home churches. And who lives in a home? Not visitors, but families live in homes. So here at St. Francis, we have elements of the temple, such as when we celebrate the sacrifice of the Mass. But really, aren't we more spiritual descendants of the home church? A place where a family lives? As Advent approaches, that might be a question for reflection. Is the parish a place where I visit, or is it a place where I feel I'm home? I'm one of the family. So I don't have a closet full of props like Father Chris does. But if I did, I'd be holding in front of you a wagon wheel. So let's use our imaginations and picture a wagon wheel, okay? I'm a terrible artist, I guess, as an air artist too, but so imagine a big wagon wheel here. And the center of the wheel, the hub, is God, okay? The spokes of the wheel are the people of the church, including you. You are a spoke in the wheel. Are you hiding out on the perimeter of the wheel, or are you moving toward the center? Because if you move toward the center, you will notice that you're also moving toward other people. The distance between the spokes becomes narrower and narrower. The distance between the spokes becomes narrower and narrower as you become closer and united to the center, who is God. So Advent celebrates the anticipation of the incarnation, of Christ coming into the world, of Christ coming into our lives. So perhaps this Advent we might consider like the movement toward the center of the wagon wheel, that movement toward God, that is the welcoming of Christ, means the welcoming of other people into our lives. The welcoming of people into our lives means the welcoming of Christ into our lives. So the movement toward God is movement toward others. Movement toward others is movement toward God. From my family to yours, I wish everyone here at the Home Church of St. Francis a joyful and safe Thanksgiving and a holy Advent.